Hey everybody, I'm Tim with Hilltop Packs.
And I'm Ben with Hilltop Packs as well. And today we're going to do a how we pack video. Tim is our gear pro and I am the owner of the company. Tim does a lot of nights in the woods every year, probably like 100 nights in the woods. Is that right?
Oh, that's relatively accurate. That's my goal every year.
And he has a really good system how he packs. And I only go maybe 5-6 trips a year. I have a way that I pack my stuff, and it does change throughout the year. But we're going to kind of go through it. They're slightly different, but kind of the same. So we're going to start on the outside of the pack and how we actually pack everything. We're not going to go into detail of everything. And Tim didn't bring everything today, so I want to go first. On the outside of my pack, I do carry my chair. And Tim, do you carry a chair?
I carry a stool.
There you go. And I also carry like a little tripod if I want to do any kind of filming. And usually I just use my phone, but if I'm by myself, I'll bring an actual camera, bring a small camera, and I have different tripods for different cameras, but I also have the phone holder on that.
I usually bring a tripod as well, but it's not with me today.
2 trekking poles. I know you don't usually carry trekking poles, but do you at least take some with you?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, especially in the mountains. They do work well in elevation, but not today.
I have my water bottles with me, but you didn't bring yours today, but that's okay.
I don't drink water.
I don't drink water. So I carry 2 bottles on the side, one up front. I usually don't use both water bottles. One is just an extra one in case we have a long water carry. I don't have to fumble with a big bag or anything, the Canuck bag. So I do carry an extra bottle there. And on the face, on the front where the straps are, I do carry the old school, the really heavy GPS Garmin device here, the satellite device. And I like this one because I can actually see the maps and set my points and stuff if I don't feel like using my phone. I'm by myself a lot, so I'm kind of paranoid. If I break my phone, at least I can make my way back to the car. Do you carry anything like that?
I just figure I wouldn't mind dying in the woods, so no.
There you go. I do carry a fanny pack up front. Inside my fanny pack, things like my headlamp. I think we're pretty similar, although we smoke different things probably. I don't smoke at all. So we won't go into detail with the fanny pack, but did you bring your fanny pack?
I did not, but it is one of my favorite pieces of gear, but I wear mine, I don't attach it to my hip belt. I wear it independently, so when I take my pack off, it's still around my waist so I can access my fun stuff.
Yeah, so I do keep mine attached to my pack, so it's a little bit different there, but I understand why you'd want to do that, and I may change my mind at some point, but that's still the way I do it. All right, let's open these things up. Actually, let's do the mesh pocket. Let's do the mesh part.
I got an umbrella here too.
I do carry an umbrella if I'm expecting rain. So I do have my rain jacket. Keep that on the outside of my pack.
I have the exact same rain jacket.
How about that? I carry my toiletry kit, my poop kit on the outside. It's easy access.
I got the welcome mat.
Where do you keep your poop kit at?
Inside. I'm not usually in that big of an emergency. I'm a lot younger than you.
I do carry my tent stakes on the outside pretty much no matter which tent I'm using. I do keep my tent stakes on the outside.
The only other thing I got in there is
pretty similar with our setups for our water filtration kits.
Water filtration.
I do bring gloves. If I'm carrying firewood, I don't want to grab any kind of poison ivy, so I did take a cheap pair of gloves just for picking up firewood.
I was just thinking that the other day when I was getting firewood, every piece I picked up, I'm like, how many times has this been peed on?
Yeah, exactly. But pro tip about the gloves, what you do is you get to camp, don't set up right away, wait till the guy starts getting all the firewood, and then you go set up camp, and you don't have to pick up as much firewood. There you go.
I've seen Ben do that.
I do carry some fingerless alpaca gloves, which we also sell at Hilltop Packs. And my rain pants, I usually only carry these in like colder temperatures. I use them as an extra layer. Do you carry pants at all?
I do not. I'm waiting for Hilltop to develop a rain kilt.
I've been using these for a few years now. It's just a pair of like soles that I've put little flip-flops. They weigh like nothing.
I've never seen you wear those.
Yeah.
Those are beautiful.
That's just my pea shoes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's crack these things open. So mine is a 40, I think a 40 liter.
Mine's a 40 also.
Actually, I'll take that back. Mine must be a 45 liter. Okay. This is my new winter pack, so it's a 45. I do keep my little med kit on top.
My food bag always goes on top.
So my food bag technically is on top, but on either side of my food bag, I do carry my electronics kit up against the back, like right back behind my head. So my electronics kit, but the heaviest thing really, that's small and condensed, I keep that right against the top part of my shoulder strap. Then I do carry my food bag. So yes.
And if I'm only doing 1 or 2 nights, I'll carry my cook kit right in my food bag. Everybody seems to carry them independently.
Mine's inside my food bag right now.
Is it?
Yep.
Yeah. I carry mine in there if I'm on a shorter trip.
But if I have a full 5 days, 6 days in there, I'm going to go ahead and take the cook kit out, obviously. My sleeping pad is on top of that, just kind of loose, not in anything.
My hammock tarp.
This is where it starts to different, be a little bit different. I actually have a pack liner right now that I use. Don't always use a pack liner, but we're using a pack liner. Inside the pack liner, I have fleece. I have another little string backpack that I keep some socks in. I may have an extra shirt, depends on how long the trip is. So just as my clothing bag, it's just a string backpack. I also can use this for like water carries, or like if I'm gonna go get water away from camp, I'll just use this to throw some water in the back of my bag.
I may have one of those in here somewhere too. Electronics, Diddy, tent stakes. I just stuff those in the crevices in between all the bigger stuff sacks.
We're gonna start getting a little bit different here. So that's your hammock?
This is my quilt.
Or quilt, I'm sorry. So my quilt is also inside my pack liner. So this is just a Hilltop Packs pack liner. So I have my quilt in here. I'll pull that out. And on the bottom of the pack liner, I'll put that over there, I do have my pillow inside that. So where do you keep your pillow at?
My pillow actually, it's probably dumb, but I keep it usually on the bottom so it condenses. But that's one place I fail to keep. And if it got wet, I'd have a wet head sleeping.
And that's why I keep mine at the bottom of my, bottom of my pack liner. And underneath my pack liner is actually where my tent is. And so I'll pull the pack liner out. That's the pack liner. The only thing left is my tent. And I either use if I'm with a bunch of people, I use my Z-Packs Fleximid, which is about as small of a tent as I can find. It is a 1.5 person tent. And sometimes I'll use my Thurston tent if I'm by myself or if I have a lot of room to set up.
Smaller footprint.
Smaller footprint, yeah. So my tent is just loose on the bottom. I don't use a bag or anything. I know you do something a little bit different.
Yeah, I got the string backpack for the same reason as Ben. It's a nice day pack for when you're hiking around camp. Keep my clothing in here, always a puffy jacket, a couple other little items. And sometimes I use this as my pillow. And then next, I layered it. I do have the pillow in there, but I should probably change that because it's not in a waterproof layer. This is the Ridgeline organizer from a hammock.
Brand new. Tim designed that. How cool is that thing?
It was a collaborative effort.
No.
Hammock straps, another item I just throw in the nooks and crannies. And then last but not least, my hammock.
So you put your hammock inside of a bag, and that's in case it gets wet?
Yeah, anything down, I try to keep in a roll top dry bag for that extra layer of waterproof material. Just like Ben uses a pack liner, I just use smaller roll top bags.
So our biggest differences really are just how we're separating the wet gear from the rest of our gear. I'm using a pack liner on top of my tent. I'm keeping my tent loose to kind of smash down to the bottom of the tent, or bottom of the pack, and just kind of fill in those nooks and crannies. And I don't care if it gets wet at the bottom of my tent. I'm really not that worried. And if I was doing a through hike, it'd be a little different. Or if I was in a rainy situation, if this was really soaked all the time, maybe it'd be different. I don't know, but I kind of like how I'm doing it right now. The only problem I see with you is your pillow.
Yeah, this is the problem.
That's your weak point.
But like I said, this is a luxury item I could sleep without. But I should probably have this in some sort of waterproof.
What's my weak
layer
point? Besides, I don't hike enough.
Your weak point? Actually, you're almost convincing me on this obnoxious pack liner.
I was not a pack liner guy until we started making them. People have been hounding us from the very beginning to make a pack liner. And we could have made them out of Dyneema. I tried that. I was like, it's so expensive. We started using D50T, and it's a nice balance between the affordability and having a nice big old pack liner. And I can use that outside of my tent as like a little place to put stuff on top of instead of carrying the mat, which I also have. But I like using that as well to lay everything outside my tent.
That would work too for another welcome mat. But I think I just like the organization of individual stuff sacks.
And I used to put my tents in a stuff sack, but once I got the pack liner, I got away from that. I saw someone else do it on YouTube. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think of that. I don't backpack enough to think for myself. But yeah, that's how we set up our packs. A little bit different, but essentially the same. Our food is always on the top, right?
Yeah.
Easy accessible. I know a lot of guys put it in the middle because of the weight, but I get hungry. I'm a big boy. I like to eat.
Yeah, I'm the same way. You're supposed to put all the weight in the middle of your pack, but the one exception I will never change is my food goes on top because I stop to snack and eat a lot.
That's it. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions at all, comment down below in the video or wherever the video is posted, and Tim will answer all those questions.
Absolutely.
Because he's the gear pro.
I am the gear pro.
All right, guys, thank you. Later.
Thank you.